Greetings, I'm Jen Fuhr, and welcome back to Makilala. Owning a business is something my father instilled in me and my brothers. Our American dream got its start from being entrepreneurs. Today's episode is about women in business and leadership. According to the 2013 American Express Open Business Report and Insights from the U.S. Census Bureau, the number and economic contributions of women-owned firms is growing at 1.5 times the national average. Over the past 6 years, since the depth of the U.S. recession, the only businesses that provided a net increase in employment are large publicly traded companies and privately held majority women-owned firms. And since 1997, firms owned by women of color now account for 1 in 3 women-owned firms in the United States, 7% of which is owned by Asian American women. Exploring the topic with me today is my co-host, Cristina Pastor.
Hello.
The founder of internationally recognized the PhilAm. It's what I call the encyclopedia of everything Filipino-American.
Oh, thank you.
Cristina, was PhilAm featured in Smithsonian recently?
There is going to be an interactive exhibit starting May 16, and the PhilAm is one of the 100 pioneering ethnic media publications.
Wow.
So it's kind of big for me. It's my little baby is going places.
Well, Cristina is going mainstream. Our guest co-host is Loren San Diego, the Vice President of Philippine New York JCs and the owner of Piano Playground. Hi, Loren. Welcome to Makilala.
Hi, everyone. I'm so excited to be here. It's an honor to be in the same room as women very highly regarded in the entrepreneurial world and business. I'm really looking forward to hearing from all of you.
That's great. We'll be hearing more about Loren and her business sometime later in this conversation. Rachelle Ocampo won't be joining us today since she is in Hawaii for a Filipino Young Leaders Conference. Our special guest, we are so honored, who are joining us in this conversation are Janet Cecile Azarcon and Constance J.Peak. Both Janet and Constance are the co-founders of Impact Leadership 21 and Maverick Vision International. Both Janet and Constance are also active at the Foundation for the Support of the United Nations. Ladies, I don't know how you make time, but welcome to Makilala.
Thank you. So good. Happy to be here.
I'm glad that you guys are here. Janet, so what is Impact Leadership 21?
Well, it's a global platform and organization, and our main mission is to accelerate women's leadership at the very top level. Impact actually is an acronym for the 6 components and the requirements of transformative leadership globally for women. So it's I stands for innovation, M stands for multiculturalism, P for passion, A for attunement, C for collaboration, and T for tenacity.
Oh, how did you come up with such a clever
Well, it's a lot of things, but mainly because of our exposure at the United Nations and being able to see firsthand through our interaction with different country leaders and ambassadors, especially women ambassadors, how we are really marginalized at the very top level when it comes to leadership. In the UN, for example, out of 193 member states, we only have, for now, 31 female ambassadors. So that's a mere 13% of the total representation that's needed to be up there.
What about world leaders? What is the percentage?
World leaders, parliamentarians, as of now, we only, I think, are between 16 and 17%.
Wow.
Female
Really
representation.
small, right? Yeah.
Very small. And so because of that, and also our exposure with business, and knowing that, yes, even in the business world, there's a lot of women entrepreneurs out there right now. It's still not enough to qualify an equal representation at the top. So we combine all that together, and then with this passion to really just go forward and achieve, you know, women's representation at the top, we said something has to be done about this. And so we...
you talk about business. Well, Constance and you, I think you guys created Maverick Vision International, which Constance is a chief strategist. And with your experience as a life or career coach, what do you think are the personality traits of the drive of women to start a business or be a leader?
Creativity.
Creativity. Oh.
It takes creativity to start a business. As far as any other personality traits, Jen is very outgoing. I am an introvert. But we have a passion, and starting a business takes you to a point where you have to look at things a little differently. And that's part of the skill of getting ahead, that creativity.
Would you say that creativity is inherent in women than in men?
Creativity, it's more subjective. You'll have people that are stronger in one area than another. As far as men and women, I think it's equal. What I do see more as far as women is situations that bring about that need for creativity, the need for innovation. I see that more with women.
Could you also elaborate more about the multiculturalism aspect of the Impact 21?
Absolutely. This world is getting smaller. And even with Jen and myself, we started our company 8,500 miles apart.
Oh, wow.
It was one crazy telecommute, but
What do you mean 8,000?
well, we started our company back in 2004 in Makati, while I was stationed in New Jersey.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
So-
you've launched it in 12-12-12, I believe. I was
12-12-12 was when we launched Impact Leadership 21.
Oh, I see.
At Maverick Vision International is the mother company.
Right. So,
okay.
so about 8 years later.
Yes.
Yes, but Impact Leadership 21 itself was officially launched in 12-12-12. I specifically chose that date because I know it's never going to come again in our lifetime.
So that's something that women do.
Yeah.
They look
That's
for
an
it.
example of
I know it's not being
creativity for
superstitious,
you.
okay?
Yes.
But we look for those little symbolic touches.
Right.
Symbolic
It's
meaning.
Really, right.
Yeah, that was
Men would never
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah, and it's really
Is that
very
good or bad?
meaningful. Yeah, it's meaningful for us because when we said officially, okay, let's start Impact and let's launch it, it was 57 days before 12-12-12.
Wow. They
Yeah,
have
it
a
was
short
less
time.
than 2 months, yes,
Oh,
and
wow.
everybody was saying, you're crazy, you don't have a logo, you don't have a website, you don't have a venue, you don't know what you're going to do with it, and you're going to launch it in 57 days. I said, yes, call me crazy, call us crazy, but we're
So when you
launching it.
launched it, you were in Makati, and
No, we were here
you were
already.
both here.
Oh, you
Okay.
were
Talking
here.
about
Both here.
crazy and creativity. I mean,
Yes.
Loren here, who
Yes.
used to work as
Oh,
a
yeah, I
computer
am
programmer
crazy.
in a big company, big companies in New York,
Right.
decided to quit her job
Yeah.
and start a new business called Piano Playground.
Yeah.
So
it's-
Loren,
Oh,
why?
sure. I think everyone calls me crazy, but I have basically 2 motivating factors. One is I wanted to do what I love to do, and that is I love playing the piano, and I wanted to have more time for my children. I have 2 kids, 4 and 6 years old, and the corporate world just wasn't giving me the flexibility to spend time with them. I mean, I leave at 7 in the morning before they even get up. By the time I get home, they're about to sleep. I barely had time with them, and I think the turning point was just one night, and my boss had to call the taxi because it was just too late for me to commute. It happened every night that week, and I would cry in the taxi all the way home. Is it worth it to be making so much money but not seeing my kids grow up? I told myself, I don't think it is. So I decided to take a risk, and I mean, it kind of happened.
Worth it. You have something like 20 plus students right
Yeah,
now,
in
right?
3 months I grew from 1 student, which was my daughter, to 25, and it's only
25,
been
yeah.
3 months. It's just been an amazing experience,
I mean,
and
I can
it's still
empathize with
growing.
you because I used to be in IT. I used to be head of computing department for 15 years. And then when my 4th child was born, I was like, I can't, I have 4 kids. I don't think men have to make that kind of decision.
Yeah.
So which leads me to this, like Impact Leadership 21 has an event in September. It's called Conversations with Men.
Yeah.
I think that's I'm curious, that's interesting because what would you tell a group of men who happen to let's say work in an organization which is led by women? I mean, what would you tell them to say, what would you advise them if they want to be able to maximize their potentials in such organization?
Well, first off, I want to say the complete title of this event that we're doing is Conversations with Men on Wall Street.
Oh,
Which is
on
even more
Wall
interesting.
Street.
On Wall Street, yes.
So these are
'Cause
all bankers, and
yes,
these are all
and
finance
the finance
institutions,
sector.
okay.
Yeah, we launched Conversations with Men. I was just talking to you guys earlier in April 23rd at the New York Times last year, and this was co-presented by Bank of Tokyo Mitsubishi. So. Since that, we've done 3 other executive forums, all Conversations with Men, and this is the first time when we take it on Wall Street that we're doing it on a per industry, and this time we're hitting the finance sector because we know, and of course based on research and studies, that yes, women occupy for the most part in the finance sector. The lower level from middle management, it's all 70% women. But as you go up, you know, it thins out. And that's where we need women.
Do you think it would have made a difference if women were at the top? Would we not have all these banking issues, this problems with mortgage?
You know, that's been asked actually many times. You know, like what would have it been if it were Lehman sisters instead of Lehman brothers, right? And our answer to that is no, because women, when they rule on a majority level as well, will have its own weaknesses. You know, like men. So what we actually strive is an equal, a balanced leadership. So it should have been Lehman brothers and sisters.
That would be ideal.
Yeah, it would still be operational if that was Lehman Brothers.
Yes, because there's the balance of styles in leadership and communications. You know, that is completely not achieved if it's just one gender being the dominant in managing the business.
One of the stereotypes about women leaders is that women are supposed to be emotional. Is that a bad quality?
Do you want to say anything?
As she turns to the emotional one.
She's emotional. I'm not. I am like more of that male.
Rational.
We are in exercise and contrast.
Rational and logical.
Really?
She's emotional.
They're all different types of skills. And one is not better than the other. I have a question that I ask. Do you take a screwdriver and try to nail into wood? No, you use a hammer. It's a matter of using the right tool at the right time. So there's times where my specific skill sets and my traits come in handy, and times when her skill sets and traits come in handy.
Yeah, and to answer your question, Christina, pretty much it's a straightforward answer. There's nothing bad about being emotional, because that's intrinsically, you know, part of women. You know, biologically, but the thing is that where does it come in? You know, where is it the right time to be emotional or not? You know, I mean, if you're in a business setting and you're talking about business and board and stuff like this, definitely, I mean, you can't be too emotional about
I was just thinking in terms of decision making having more heart than appearing to be tough, which men like to do.
Sometimes be a little hard in making a decision.
Yes, exactly. Absolutely. Well, this is the entire reason why, you know, we had a collapsed economy last time, because it's all testosterone and ego, right?
I think men can also be emotional, but they hide it very well. They hide it well, more than women, definitely.
And oftentimes they hide it because of situations in the workplace and influence from other men telling them how they should be. And not really the way that they're wired to be. So conversations with men also opens that door up for men to find out who they really are. What is your motivating factor? What type of traits? What type of tendencies that you have? And be authentic.
Right.
I think it's more important.
Yeah, the platform, the conversation platform, provides for men to really be genuine about how they feel, and to let them know that you can express. It doesn't matter if you're a male, you know, person, and that you express your emotions. It's okay to express your emotions as a man. And you forget the fact what everybody is saying, that, you know, if you're a man, you don't show your feelings, and you be like this and tough.
What about this
authentic?
This quality about being bossy? Some people have said that when a woman is called bossy, that's actually a put down of women. Do you agree or not?
Yeah, that's actually been going around lately, you know.
It's a matter of semantics.
Exactly.
I once read this book. It was called "Mean Girls Don't Get the Nice Girls Don't Get the Corner Office." What do you think about that? So you have to be mean and able to get the corner. You have to be a little assertive, I think.
Right.
I don't think you have to be mean. I think you
just
have to know exactly what your goal is and what
Yeah.
you can do. I mean, let's say, I have an example too. Men and women are totally different. And women usually are in charge of the family, and men aren't. I mean, I think there's a country out there, I just can't remember right now, where men can take leave off, to take care of their kids, and I guess take turns for the women. And in that particular country, I'm not sure if it's Switzerland or Sweden.
I think it's one of the Nordic countries.
Right, and then the leadership, women are kind of like, they're in charge in business and not just at home. So it's kind of like maybe cultural, but I don't know. I don't know if men can really take care of the family. I'm not sure about that.
Yeah,
It's more cultural? Is it because it's stereotype in my mind that men are, you know, they're not really family oriented. I'm not saying they don't care about families, but as far as taking care of raising your children, it's mainly the mother's job. That's why mothers don't really get promoted easily because they have other responsibilities. So when you talk to your men clients, I mean, does such question come up? Or?
Absolutely, yes. And a lot of it, like what you said, you know, dates back from even the primitive times where men were hunters.
Yeah.
And women stay behind to take care of their kids and nurture and stuff like this. And men go back with the deer or, you know, whatever, the fish or whatever they got, you know. And it's sort of like, of course, evolved right now, right? But still that mentality and that what you said, you know, like an automatic, you know, concept that men are, you know, supposed to be providers and stuff. But being bossy, going back, because I really want to center on what Cristina asked, the bossy, you know, because it's a ban on bossy, right? Yeah. Again, like I said, a lot of that is a cultural pressure. You know, like women were it's like demystifying, you know, that entire label. It's all about labeling. Right?
True,
you know, when you are assertive as a woman, they label you as bossy, but you're not actually bossy. It's like, you know, taking and owning your rightful place is what it is. And as far as, to me, how I do it is the bottom line. If you are comfortable as a woman, right, yourself, in being assertive, you don't care what other people say about that. They can say you're bossy, who cares? If you know within yourself, at the end of the day, that what you're doing is right, in elevating other women as you go forward, so be it. That's my own principle.
That's right.
For me, bossy is just calling a screwdriver a bad hammer. You're mislabeling it. It's
the labeling. And we have a society, our society is so riddled with labels.
I know. Before you know it, they're going to run out of words. I mean, I have limited vocabulary. Before you know, like nothing else to say.
You know what's amazing about Connie and Janet is that they're such accomplished women, and yet there are two markers that are supposed to be obstacles. Like they're both women and they're both women of color. So how did you ladies go around that?
We had incredible influences in our lives.
You mean mentors?
A lot of mentors.
Our parents.
Our parents, our friends, even our interns, you know, the young people, like I have some of them right now here actually supporting us, you know, and we learn a lot from them. So I guess it takes a community to lead, right? So one of our mentors, Judy Lerner, for example, she's 92 years old. She was Gloria Steinem's mentor, and now she's our mentor. Oh, wow. And she sits on our board of advisors for Impacts. I met her when I first was assigned at the UN in 2006. Yes, and we just celebrated her 92nd birthday, and we were there when we celebrated her 50th year at the United Nations. She's an activist for peace and human rights.
It's amazing to come across somebody that has personal pictures of Eleanor Roosevelt.
That is amazing. So yeah, we can't do it alone.
I know.
It's a community.
And it's a great thing that you give back to the community too, because you have the interns and you're like role models for them. And then you learn from somebody, and now you're teaching somebody else.
I'd like to think so. I hope I'm a good role model.
Where do you see your business in 10 years, 10 to 15 years? How will you expand it more?
We constantly evaluate and tweak and revise our programs. 2 weeks ago, we were driving home, and we said, you know, maybe we should try this, maybe we should try that. By the time we got done with our ride, we came up with an entirely different program.
Amazing,
So as what we see happening is as society changes, we want to change as well. When we get to that curve and it's a left turn, we want to be able to make the left turn.
Keep up with the society.
Absolutely. That's what we see is the biggest obstacle for people today. It's not survival of the fittest, it's survival of the adaptable.
Right.
And that's true.
Because
if it was the survival of the fittest or the strongest, then there'd be woolly mammoths and saber-toothed tigers all over the place and T-Rex. No, it's the adaptable. And that is
To the change.
Yes. So that's, as far as 10 years down the line, where we want to be is where the road goes.
It's so true because it's such a global world. I mean, citizens of the world or global economy. You have to be able to be flexible. You have to be able to adapt, and you have to be able to see a lot of a lot of these things and be open-minded. Oh my gosh, there's so many questions. There's still so many things to talk about. But we have to like go on and on. I mean, I could go on. I mean, I would love to be in one of your conferences to listen and to do and really learn more about it. I can't believe it's time to wrap up our conversation.
Wow.
I can't believe it. I mean, there's still so many topics to cover. Well, in the meantime, let me introduce to you our guest performer. I mean, Suzanne Sabangan of Sounds of Manila. Her band is called Ambassadors of the Philippine Music. It was Suzanne and her husband Ronnie who founded this award-winning, multi-talented, all-Filipino band based in New York and New Jersey. A band who's helping preserve and promote original Philippine music in the United States. SOM launched its debut album featuring the music of legendary OPM composer Cecile Azarcon during their much-awaited and well-received concert in April. As reported in Asian Journal, music for the Sounds of Manila is the lingo for the soul. Suzanne will be singing a new composition, Di Na Maghahanap, what was that? Di Na Maghahanap Kailan Pa. I'm gonna get in trouble. It meant won't be looking for another love evermore. Let's give Suzanne Sabangan of Sounds of Manila a round of applause. Take it away, Suzanne.
Sa Diyos ay aking
Sounds of Manila. That was one Kilig to the Bones performance. Thank you so much. What an impeccable performance. It touches the soul and the heart. Oh man, I wish I could sing. I'm probably one of those Filipinos who don't know how to sing or swim. Well, to know more about Sounds of Manila and their new CD, SOM sings Cecile Azarcon. Check out their Facebook page, Sounds of Manila. And as Ronnie, their band leaders, put it together, SOM's journey will continue until our Philippine music is recognized all over the world. Janet, Constance.
Wait, do we have time for one more quick question?
Go ahead.
Because I will not leave this table without asking this to you. We know that career coaching is one of the skills of Connie and Jan. I just wanted to ask, what if somebody like Monica Lewinsky approached you for a makeover? You know, this girl has been in an I am a victim mode kind of narrative. What would you tell her?
Move on.
Move on.
Move on. Things happen to everyone. I cover this in my blog, morelemonsplease.com. You know, life gives you lemons, more lemons, please. Everybody has something that happens to them. You don't hold on to things that are unnecessary. You learn from your experience, but you move on and you discover yourself.
I'm sorry, but we have to move on. We're looking forward to hearing more about Impact to Leadership 21. Yes. Your movement and your platform. Visit their website at impactleadership21.com. Loren, a pleasure.
Thank you. This was
hope
fun.
to see you again.
Thanks, Loren.
Find out more about Loren at pianoplaygroundlessons.com.
Thank you.
As always, it's been a pleasure. Stay tuned for our Filipino words for the day, to the cast, the crew, the loyal supporters. Thank you. Maraming salamat po. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter at MakilalaTV. Hashtag Impact21. Sa uulitan, until next time, this is Jen Fio reminding you, follow your passion, follow your dreams. You can do it. Goodbye.